Hi, Tom Clendon here, your ACCA SBR online lecturer and podcaster. And today's episode is all about climate change, all about sustainability reporting, because this is a current issue for SBR. And let's think about why it's a current issue for SBR. Let's think about how it should be regulated, whether accountants should be involved in this area, and what the issues and current developments are around this field. We live in a world where the Green Party is now part of the national government of Scotland and New Zealand. We live in a world where sea levels are rising, temperatures are rising, and we live in a world where the UK government has legislated that by 2030 all new cars manufactured and sold in the UK must be electric, cannot be fossil fuel, cannot be petrol cars. And so the reason why climate change and sustainability is a current issue for us as accountants and therefore examinable in SBR is because it's a current issue in the world. And we should be involved in reporting. I think that's clear. We should be involved. Traditionally, accountants have been involved in reporting on financial capital, reporting on the stewardship of the financial capital that's been entrusted in the directors and the return, the profits that have been made on that. But companies are also entrusted with resources that belong to society, that we're making an impact and we're using resources, and there is therefore an accountability as to how well those resources are being used. Are we reducing? Are we reusing? Are we recycling? Are we carbon neutral? What is our impact? And this has been acknowledged by anyone who's followed the debates around integrated reporting. So for me, the argument is clear. Businesses have a stewardship responsibility to report on climate change, to report on sustainability, how they're managing their resources and how they as a business are going to be affected by the changes that are taking place around them. So given that we have this responsibility to report, should that report be regulated? Should that report be mandatory? And there are some who argue that no. There are some who argue that no regulation should exist and that we should take a libertarian point of view and allow reports to emerge which are innovative, which are tailor-made, which are relating specifically to the company and not impose a one-size-fits-all, because to regulate risks a tick box approach. To regulate risks imposing red tape, imposing cost. But I think that argument is a weak one, because what investors want is compliance, comparability. They're thirsty for information. They need to know what is going on, and at the moment that information is not being produced. So what information do investors want? Well, arguably they want to know what the strategy is for assessing, what strategy the company has for assessing its sustainability, what metrics and goals and targets it is setting for itself. When is it going to be carbon neutral? And what are the opportunities and risks that this changing environment causes the organization? For companies like Tesla, it's a great opportunity. If you're involved in batteries for storage of electricity, it's a great opportunity. And what's going to be the impact on the company's profits, its customers, its suppliers, its supply chain? So it's all about understanding whether the risks and opportunities that climate change produces have been adequately reflected in the financial statements. I mean, impairment is one obvious accounting standard that comes into play here. Because if we've got a coal fuel generator, if we've got assets which are dirty, polluting, then maybe these need to be impaired, and maybe there needs to be an impairment review. And certainly in any form of sustainability report, there needs to be a communication and an understanding of the longer term viability of the business model. Now, the production of such sustainability reports and climate change reports is not without its risks. There is a risk that the company, in trying to be forward-looking and improve its reputation, could accidentally damage it. It could be accused of greenwashing. Because if what the company's report says is out of sync with the reality of the culture of the organization, it's hypocritical. And a company accused of greenwashing is going to suffer reputational damage. But look, there are massive advantages here to getting this type of report correct, because from an investor's point of view, the investor's now going to properly understand how the organization is going to cope with sustainability issues, is going to cope with climate change, and it will de-risk their investment. It will make it a more attractive investment because they have a greater knowledge and understanding of how the business is going to cope in the future. And it will also be of advantage to the company itself, because it will enable it to attract ethical customers, savvy customers who want to buy products which are sustainable. And government contracts, it often is a precondition that companies are effectively good companies, green companies, sustainable companies. And having a sustainability report will establish that. So what is the future of regulation? Well, the IFRS, the International Financial Standards Board, is getting involved here in setting up and being a part of a new organization of the International Sustainability Standards Board, who are looking to issue IFRSs on sustainability standards. And the IASB, the International Accounting Standards Board, is at the heart of this. So given we've got this broad support, it's good that the ISAB is getting involved because it has expertise in international standard setting, and it should enable us to create a comparable and consistent set of standards that have an interconnectedness with the financial reporting and sustainability reporting. This can only be of benefit to the investor. This can only be of benefit to the company's reporting to have such a framework. At the time of recording, in late 2021, such a framework doesn't yet exist. But we want one. We need one. And it will happen. And the desire for one and the debate around one and what sort of thing might go in it, might not go, is going to be tested in SBR going forward. It's a current issue, but it's not a current issue that is going away. So please watch this space, keep up to date, and thank you for listening. If you want to pass SBR, feel free to get hold of me directly through my website, www.tomclendon.co.uk, through my Instagram, through my LinkedIn, through WhatsApp. Please, I'm here to help you pass the exam with my courses. There's plenty of other podcast episodes. I hope you enjoy them. Thank you very much for listening. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and tell your friends.